Well, hey, I've been gone for a little bit. The weather is not good. Not good at all, Nick. Is it your fault?
No, it's definitely your fault. You took all the... Well, I guess that wouldn't make any sense because you came from Miami, so it's not cold and almost snowy there.
No, it's this weather's not fun. And my daughters have soccer practice tonight, and we're going to be outside in this terrible weather. And I'm like hoping the coaches are like, that's going to do it, guys. We don't need to practice. Nope.
Mental toughness makes them better.
Sure. Yeah, but I don't want to be out there. I guess I can put the heater on for 2 hours. All right, let's talk about what we had on the show today, because today's show was good. We had the Go Hour. We got you ready for Arkansas. As you watch this video to get ready for that game tonight, hey, Nick, good to see you, buddy. No, go back to Nick. Now, Nick, I want you to move your mouth as I talk. Ready? We have Arkansas. Preview that game. You barely opened your mouth, bro. That was terrible. Just go back to me. Charean Williams was on the program as well. We got ready for the Super Bowl. Oh, my. I think we just witnessed. I don't even know. Did I call the police? What did I do?
It's a murder.
I want him to go.
Oh, my. He opened his eyes in the middle of the camera. That was terrible. Some of the worst acting ever. Had you kept your eyes closed?
I blame Zoe for that. She wasn't supposed to. So I wanted you to go to the video and then come back with me laying there, but whatever.
My gosh.
Bit ruined.
Oh, all right.
Everyone comment, thanks, Zoe.
Yeah, John Pugliese is on the show. We also did Saturday Down South Adams. I don't even know how to respond to that. Just check it out. OB, I want to close up with you with a little Arkansas A&M basketball talk here. I think you said you got an update. They're moving, right?
Yeah, they had to fly into Tulsa last night because apparently the weather was so bad that you couldn't get into Fayetteville.
Mm-hmm.
Tulsa bigger airport, all those things. So Brad Marcourt just about 10 minutes ago sent me a picture of the Hard Rock Hotel and Casino.
Yep.
I guess it's in Tulsa or outside of Tulsa.
Gotcha.
So they're on the bus heading toward Fayetteville.
How long of a drive is that?
It's only about an hour and a half, I think.
Oh, okay, that's not bad at all.
It's not too bad. Maybe an hour and a half.
Yeah.
I'm thinking.
It is
I could be wrong on that.
Big game for multiple reasons. One, you want to continue the streak, right? Get through this when you're feeling really good about yourself. You got 3 in a row with a little hiccup there against Kentucky at the end. But also, don't allow Arkansas to think that they're back, right? Who did they just lose? They lost to somebody.
Baylor.
There you go. But don't let them think that, because they've played a little better recently. Don't let them think that they're back. Take advantage of this game on the road. Get another big road victory.
Well, yeah, that would be huge. You know, Buzz has his formula, +1 on the road and -1 at home. Well, if you win tonight, you're +4. So they're what, all-time 1-8 at Bud Walton Arena.
Yep.
It's a tough place to play. Go out and, I mean, that'd be a huge win. Arkansas's 10-1 at home.
They got 10 SEC games left? Does that sound right?
Yeah.
Okay. So
Those are 7-1.
Can you go a game above 500?
Yeah. I think
game-
you can do better than that, but you can't take it for granted.
KC and Philly, we got ourselves a great defense taking on a great offense. Early thoughts, because we got a couple weeks to talk about it.
Yeah, I'm headed to Phoenix on Friday. Going to go a little bit early and go see the Grand Canyon and all that. But it's a good matchup. There's no question about that. I picked the Eagles before the year started. I picked them to play the Bills. Obviously, that didn't happen. I think the Chiefs are the best team in the AFC, and the Eagles are the best team in the NFC. First time since 2017 that we've had both number 1 seeds come out of there, and I think it's probably the way it should be. Those were the 2 best teams in their conferences for most, if not all, of the year. So that it is going to be a good matchup, I think, from that standpoint. And hopefully we have 2 healthy starting quarterbacks. I know Mahomes probably won't be 100%, but what a performance by him with an ankle injury to do what he did. And it just shows you why he's the best player in the NFL. I think we'll hear next week that he's won another MVP award. He was atop my list. And I think he should have been atop everybody's list because he was the best player in the league this year.
Did the Bengals get hosed by officiating?
Yeah, the officiating was not good, and the NFL's got to do something to fix that. You go back to even Olin that early in that Eagles 49ers game, and I realized it wasn't going to be a game anyway. But that was still a huge play when they missed Devontae Smith's incompletion when the ball hit the ground, and it's just a huge miss. And yes, Shanahan should have challenged that, but he didn't have a good replay of it because Fox's replays were so terrible. I mean, the entire game they were terrible. And then you really go to that Bengals-Chiefs game, and there were just tons of just really bad calls. Even on a late hit out of bounds, there were two holds on that play that should have been called on the Chiefs, so it should have been offsetting penalties. And then you come back, and we're probably headed to overtime. So just so many blown calls. Now, the hit out of bounds was a hit out of bounds by Osai. There's zero question about that. Patrick Mahomes had both feet out of bounds. He hit him out of bounds. That was a good call. But again, the hold should have been called. Clear holding there. And officials have come out. Gene Steratore came out today and said it was a clear hold, should have been called. Sometimes they're just going to miss those holes. But, yeah, I agree with you. I don't know if they were hosed. I don't know if I would go that far. But just some really bad officiating, I think, in both of these games. And the NFL's got to figure that out and fix it. One thing they haven't done is paid a lot of money to officiate. And that's why you've seen the Dean Blandinos and Mike Pereira's leave as the head of officiating because they don't pay well enough to keep it. They've got to make that a priority to fix that, to get the best people in there.
I think they're top. I think they're a top 30. There's no doubt in my mind. I think they're a top 30 team in the country. The way that they're playing and now they're learning how to win. Like they're coming. These wins are not all the same. They've got guys standing up or stepping up in big spots. I mean, you heard the praise that Anderson Garcia got, right? And for the way he stepped up in the last couple games with 8 rebounds and 5 points, and like these guys are starting to figure out how do we win. Henry Coleman is the leading scorer against Vandy, and Marbles hasn't been as good but has still been really good, and Boots is figuring out different ways to score, and Dexter Dennis has been good in different areas. So like, I think the thing that excites me for these next 5 games, and this is what I tell everybody to watch, is watch how they win, because it's not going to be the same way every night. And I think that's what has impressed me the most about what Buzz and his coaching staff has done, is they're game planning better this year than they've ever game planned before. And that's what you see when you see these wins in different ways. Are they dominating the paint? Are they dominating in transition? Are they taking open shots and hitting that, 3-point shots that are getting to the line? Every game is a little bit different. You go 5 for 19 against Vanderbilt, and Vanderbilt goes 12 of 32. I would have told you that Vanderbilt wins that game, but A&M goes 5 of 19 from 3-point line, but is 23 of 36 from the line. That's the separator. So they're figuring out, how do we win, and what is it going to take to win this game? This game is the most important game.
While the stars have to show up and play games, it seems like different days. It may be Henry Coleman who takes that mantle. It may be Julius Marble. It may be Wade Taylor. It may be Boots. I mean, there's certain guys that you hear more often than others, but like, it is not the same guy winning these games for them. No,
I mean, against Vanderbilt, they had 5 guys score at least 5 points, or score 5 points, and then they had a guy with 6, a guy with 2 guys with 14, and a guy with 18. I mean, you got every player on your roster at least scored 5 points. That doesn't happen often. That goes back to knowing your role, doing your job. That's the Bill Parcells, right? Old school, know your role, do your job. These guys know their role. Hayden Hefner is performing his role. He gets a pin down on the left wing and hits a big 3 against Vandy, and then gets another bucket. And Andre Gordon comes in and does a great job defensively and makes a couple plays. And you got Wade Taylor again, who struggled at times, but he finishes with 14 and 7 assists. Everyone's just figuring it out in a way that makes sense. Now is the time when we'll see, like, how do they game plan against Arkansas? How do they game plan the second time against Auburn? I think the only team they played twice is Florida. So when you play these teams for a second time, what do you do differently that you didn't do at game 1? But how do you do what you did well in game 1 again? And so I think they're going to have to figure some of this out. But this is a good team, man. This is a good team. This is a huge game.
Yeah, the AP poll seems to be a week behind. I don't think that there's any reason that Auburn should be ranked still. And if you're going to have them at 25, then you've got to have Texas A&M at least 24, in my opinion. They just showed that they could go into a road. That it's not like Texas A&M beat Auburn in College Station, where you could be like, well, on a neutral court, maybe Auburn gets them. No, this was at Neville Arena in Auburn that they won by 16 points. So I don't understand why Texas A&M isn't ranked. I would have Mizzou and Texas A&M in the top 25 and Auburn on the wrong side of the 25, at 27 or 28 probably. But yeah, I think when you look at a 7-1 conference record so far, yeah, they haven't played Alabama, they haven't played Tennessee, but they're beating the teams that line up in front of them. So, I don't understand what more needs to be done. If you have a 7-1 record in league play and you're playing in a major conference, you should probably be ranked.
Yeah. Let's move on from A&M because it does sound like, oh, I'm disappointed, but it is what it is. What matters is when you're ranked and if you're in bracketology right after the SEC tournament. I was gonna fake sleeping or death or whatever, but no, that was the acting on this show has never been worse. All right, that was the worst. That has taken television and internet back 20 years. Way to go, Nick. Thanks so much for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, tell your friends, and also tell your next door neighbor. That's what you got to do today. Tell your next door neighbor. The one on the left is TexAgs Radio.